Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for primer, I'm going to be starting out with the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Glow Serum. And this is in the color Main Squeeze. So these are not new, but they are new to me. My skin has been super dry, so I want to try this out. And oh my gosh, you guys, this feels amazing on the skin. It also smells delicious. Wow, my skin looks so pretty. Like, it looks nicely hydrated. I'm gonna also put this on the forehead, of course. I've been so dry, you guys. It's ridiculous. So this particular primer, I believe it does help with, you know, adding some glow to the skin, some hydration. So that's why I'm putting this on today. Next, I'm gonna be trying this Ilia Skin Rewind Complexion Stick in the shade 29N. It's been a long time since I tried a foundation stick, so I'm actually super excited about it. I believe this product is new by Ilia. I can tell that this is definitely going to be a nice buildable coverage. This definitely has more coverage than their skin tint, so I'm super excited to try this out. And it looks really amazing so far. I'm just blending this out with the It Cosmetics number 7 brush, and it doesn't look like it's going to be too mattifying. Yes, I'm so sorry. I should start researching what I've been trying. Okay, so just to go over this really quick, this is the Danessa Myricks Beauty Yummy Skin Glow Serum with hyaluronic acid and niacinamide. And this is good for hydrating your skin. So good if you have dryness, which I have dryness, so I knew that this was gonna work because it even says hydrating priming face serum on the bottle. It has a radiant finish, good for uneven texture, skin plumping, great for concerns of dryness, pores, uneven skin tone, works with any skin type for the most part. Let's really quick look up the Ilia one. Okay, so the Ilia foundation stick, it's long wearing, clean at Sephora, cruelty free, medium coverage, which honestly, this has such a beautiful coverage, you guys. I feel like it's definitely a buildable coverage. I can just tell, because if it already looks this covered just with like one layer, I can imagine if I just put a little bit more, it's going to give, you know, that buildable full coverage look. I love that it is more of a natural finish, which I do feel like it does have a natural finish. Also add a little bit of extra foundation in areas where I would just like a little bit more coverage. This is why I need to keep trying new things, because this looks absolutely stunning. I love the radiance that my skin is giving right now. So now I'm gonna try this new contour stick by Anastasia. This is their Smooth Blur Contour Stick, and I have the shade Core Shadow. Let's look up this contour stick. Okay, so on Sephora, it says that this contour stick is long wearing, vegan, cruelty-free, gluten-free, has a natural finish. We love the natural finish vibes that's going on right now. Light coverage, we'll see about that. I am just interested to see if it's going to be light coverage. The only thing about this that's a little disappointing, it only comes in 4 shades. I'm going to be using the 3rd shade, which is the 3rd darkest shade, which is the color Core Shadow. This is the shade that I usually go for because I'm usually able to sheer it out to make it work for me. So that's why I'm choosing this one. I'm going to be applying this with the Sephora 56 brush. I'm just going to apply that along the hairline. I kind of grabbed too much, so I'm going to take a little bit of this on the other areas. I know I'm going to need it as well, and just kind of buff this out. But yeah, see, I do like this color a lot. Tell that I was going to be able to sheer it out so it wasn't as dark as what you see on the stick. It still kind of like warms up my face really nicely. So far, looking at the color, looking at the finish of it, I really like it. I could see myself building it up a little bit more as well. I think I'm just gonna keep it more of like a subtle finish, not too harsh of a contour, like too dark or anything, but yeah, I really like the shade and I love how it's blending. I love the finish. And whatever is left over on the brush, I'm just going to apply to the sides of my nose as well. Next, I'm going to be using the new MAC Cosmetics Strobe Beam Liquid Blush in the shade Lava Light, which is kind of like a burnt orange blush. I did actually try this last night for the first time on just skin. So this is my first time trying it on top of makeup, and already it looks really good. I love the shade. And blending this out with the Morphe M202 brush. Probably gonna add a little bit more of this as well. Just wanted to start it off slow. This is kind of pigmented, so I didn't want to do too much. But yeah, that is super, super pretty. I'm gonna add a little bit more to layer. Wow, that is absolutely stunning. And I actually love that the applicator is very similar to something you would apply with your lips as well. Now for concealers, these two concealers I absolutely have always loved. This is the Best Skin Ever Concealer by Sephora, and I like to use the shade 33N. And then in this concealer by e.l.f., I like to use the shade Medium Neutral. This is their matte camo concealer by e.l.f. Going in with the Sephora one first, I'm just going to apply it right about here. And I love to apply it like above my lip as well, on my forehead and on my chin. And then grabbing the e.l.f. one, I'm going to put this one right above the Sephora one and like kind of down my nose as well. And then I'm just gonna let the concealer dry down just a little bit on the face. So while this is drying, I'll tell you about the last 3 products that I applied, starting with the MAC one. So this is the Strobe MAC Beam Liquid Blush, and I have the shade Lava Light that I'm using today. This is a lightweight feel hydrating blush. Instantly illuminates and bends light for a natural looking glow. Customizable color intensity. So, which I feel like is true. It does have like a nice glow to it, and it is buildable. It definitely was able to intensify a bit as well. So I can tell I'm really going to love this, and I love that I'm using unintentionally. I'm using a lot of hydrating products. For the most part, I mean, this one is the e.l.f. matte camo concealer. So it is a mattifying concealer, and it is more of a full coverage concealer. I love full coverage concealers because I be loving to hide the under eyes, okay? And I like to use a brighter color, but I love this formula for sure under the eyes. Could I use something more hydrating? Yes, but I just love her so much. And then I also have the Sephora Best Skin Ever concealer. This is a full coverage concealer. Natural finish, long wear. So yeah, I also love this one. Don't sleep on the Sephora brand. I feel like people overlook Sephora brand. I used to work at Sephora, okay? And trust me, I was that person that overlooked Sephora all the time. But when I worked there, I found some gems. And so as a person that used to work there, listen when I say there are some gems, okay, that are within the Sephora brand. So now I've let the concealer sit a bit. I'm gonna start blending this out. I'm gonna just use the brush that I had been using with the foundation to blend out the concealer. At least like this part and chin part and right above here. And I'm just gonna go in with this Tarte dual-ended brush. I'm gonna go in with the angled dense side to help me blend out the concealer, starting out with blending the edges, which is like the Sephora concealer first, and pulling it upward to kind of like lift the eye here. And then now I'm just gonna go right into the inner portion, blending that all together. Before I blend this side out, I'm gonna get my powder ready so I can hurry up and set this in place while I have it on nicely blended. This is the Huda Beauty Loose Baking Powder in the shade Blondie. I absolutely love this loose powder, and it's like my favorite for setting the under eye. I'm gonna go in with this shade. I haven't used this shade in a while, and I kind of want to switch it up, so I'm gonna use the shade Blondie, and I'm gonna take that on a powder puff by Huda, and I'm just gonna take that, and I don't want to use too much, right? So I'm just going to kind of melt it in so that when I do apply it, it applies pretty evenly. Before I set this under eye, I'm just going to make sure that everything is still blended and not creased before I set it. Also gonna take the brush that I used for the blush to kind of make sure that everything is blended seamlessly together with this concealer. And then I'm just going to set this concealer in place. And I just like to keep kind of tapping it in to really seal it all together. This color is so pretty, especially if you want like more warmer under eye. Love that. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. Next, I'm gonna go in with this One Size Turn Up the Base powder in the shade Medium Dark 1. I like to use this to just set my foundation areas. Then I'm also going to take the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush False Finish Powder in the shade number 2. And I'm going to use this to set the other areas where I put concealer, like right on the forehead here. Just lightly set that in place. To add some color back to the skin, I'm going to be using the YSL All Hours bronzer in the shade number 4, and then I'm also going to be using the MAC Cosmetics Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Gold Deposit. So first, going in with the YSL bronzer in the shade number 4, I'm just going to put this right on top of that Anastasia Beverly Hills contour stick that I applied earlier, just adding more definition and warmth to the skin. Also putting this on the sides of my nose. Next, I want to test out the MAC blush again, but on top of powder. So I did put a little bit, of course, of that Huda powder under my eye to set the concealer, but of course, naturally, some of it does get on the blush. So it does set the blush a little bit, but I want to get that beautiful blush dewy kind of look. Not super dewy glowy, but you know, like definitely not that powder blush look. So I'm gonna go back in with that same blush. And because I don't wanna apply it with this, obviously I wanna apply it very softly, subtly. I have to be careful, right? I can't use too much of it because it will disrupt all the powder. So I do want to use enough of it though to where I can get the look that I'm trying to achieve. So I'm going to go in again with the Morphe 202 brush and just grab a little bit of that on the back of my hand and kind of thin it out so that it's not super thick on the brush. And I'm just going to gently tap along the skin where I want it to be. And wow, that looks so pretty. It's actually doing such a good job. Yeah, that looks stunning. Yeah, okay, it's doing a good job. It did what it needed to do, and it didn't break up any of the powder. Obviously, the more you use, the more it's going to break up the powder and kind of like lift the product and make it look splotchy and just not cute. So you do want to be careful, but less is more. You always want to start with a little and then build your way up if you can. So that's exactly what I try to do so that I don't like use too much product. Next, I'm going to go in with one of my favorites. This is the Kaleidos Makeup Space Age Highlighter called Prophecy. And I'm just going to apply that right to the cheeks a little bit to give it a nice glow. And then I'm also going to put that right along the nose. Now for brows, I'm going to be using the Benefit Pomade Brow Pomade in the shade number 4. So I'm going to start by brushing up the brows. I'm going to grab some of this product and put it on the back of my hand just so I have control over how much product I'm picking up. And then I'm just going to softly fill in my brows, especially in areas where they are looking a little bit more sparse. Next, I'm going to take the MAC Brow Set Gel in Clear and just kind of brush the hairs out and form them to the shape that I desire. I'm going to start out with this EXO Cosmetics 90s Baby Liner. As you can see, she is well loved. She looks very similar to, I would say, Cork by MAC. A little different, but very close. And I'm just going to line my lips with this first. To add a little bit of more definition to the lip, I like to go in with the MAC Chestnut Liner. I like to put this on the very edge of the lip. And if I make any mistakes, I like to take this concealer brush by Dose of Colors and just kind of clean up the edges. For lipstick, I'm going to go in with the MAC Peach Stock lipstick. Now this is the Peach Stock lipstick that they did before they discontinued. So this is not the relaunched Peach Stock version. Okay, there is a difference. MAC. So I'm going to put this in the center of my lips. So stunning. And now I'm going to grab the Lip Bar Plumper Gloss in the shade Sweet Talk. Now I'm going to use the new Juvia's Place Nubian Shadow Sticks. I'm going to go in with the color Morocco first, I'm gonna apply Morocco on the outer corner of my lid and slightly towards the front. And then I'm going to take a blending brush and just blend that through. These are super easy to blend out. I had such an easy time considering that I don't really use cream shadows. And I'm just going to work on blending the edges out. And I'm also going to apply this on my bottom lash line and blur that out with a blending brush as well. And now I'm going to put this color called Carlota, a nice shimmer gold color, on the front of my lid and blend that out with a blending brush. Next, going in with their Egyptian liquid pen and pencil liners. I'm going to start with the liquid liner first and apply that across my lid. And then I'm going to blend in the cream shadows with the liner as well. And now taking the pencil liner, I'm going to put that in my waterline and also work on smudging that to blend into the other cream shadows. Okay guys, this look is so stunning. I love the way it came out, you guys. And the eyeshadow sticks by Juvia's place, like, oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys noticed on my channel, but I honestly don't use shadow sticks enough, and this formula looks just so pretty on the eye. And this shade right here, the first shade that I used on the lid, which was the shade Morocco, I know that this is going to be my favorite shade because it just looks so pretty on its own. And you literally, like, without the shimmer, without the extraness, like, I would have loved this on its own. Like, it's just so gorgeous, stunning, and everything blended out amazing as well. So yeah guys, this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.